Frontline has been growing in so many ways. We're much more holistic in our approach to reaching people for Christ. For many years, we were pretty one-dimensional as we focused on preaching the gospel through tent outreaches. And though that's not the centerpiece of our strategy as it once was, it's still an effective means of reaching people with the gospel. So we continue to conduct tent outreaches where we are planting new churches or to assist existing churches. And speaking of churches, we're also excited about our church planting. In the last few years, Frontline Worship Center has gone from one church in one location to one church that now meets in several locations. We've seen 5 new church sites established in just the past 2 years. Our primary target is to establish churches in the countryside, in the barangays, where there is usually no established churches. It's really a joy to see more people gathering together each week to celebrate Jesus, especially in the places we consider neglected. We're also happy to see a growing discipleship and leadership training program. We call it LDT. That's being implemented now through all of our church sites. We're thankful to have Mike Gordon from Alberta, Canada with us, who's leading this initiative. Our intention is to create a church culture where spiritual development is the rule rather than the exception, so that new believers can be matured and raised up into ministry and leadership. Another big part of Frontline is our little missionary homeschool, which has grown and become an officially registered school called Frontline Christian Academy, or FCA. Though still relatively small, we're happy to see 150 students enrolled, many of whom have become Christ followers through the ministry of this school. FCA caters to our own staff children, but also to the general public and also to the children in the care of our abused children's ministry called Face the Children, or FTC. At FTC, we're reaching out to abandoned and abused children, many of whom are former street children. Through this FTC program, we're reaching children who've been hurt from neglect, total abandonment, or physical and sexual abuse. There's literally hundreds of thousands of children roaming the streets of cities throughout the Philippines, begging for food, sleeping on sidewalks at night, and of course not going to school. Through this effort, we've seen hundreds of children reached and ministered to, and dozens that have come under the full-time care and mentorship of Frontline. We recently opened our first newly constructed dorm home for the FTC girls, where as many as 18 girls can live full-time. And the next home for the FTC boys, a home that could serve as many as 20 children full-time, is now under construction. We're also involved in other compassion ministries. Each week we visit the government hospital and minister to the sick and needy. Of course, our resources are limited, but we're blessed each week to see needy people encouraged, prayed for, and in many cases provided with medicines or financial assistance. And each week a ministry team also goes to the city jail, reaching out to the hundreds of male and female inmates. And not just a weekly devotional or salvation challenge, these inmates are being led in a systematic Bible study from week to week and are actually being discipled. So I guess this is a cell church in the truest sense of the word. And besides all of this, we're developing business strategies also to help provide jobs and to create additional revenue for ministry. Remote Link Philippines, for example, is an IT and web technology company, now in its 4th year of operation. We also have tent making equipment and are testing farming options. And currently, we have a very exciting quilt making project underway at our church near the Balok dump site, where during the week several women who used to dig through garbage every day now work in the church facilities making quilts. So if you're going to order quilts, order them from Frontline, please. We hope one day that projects like this will employ many needy men and women, giving them the dignity of a decent working environment, but also providing means for the churches to be financially self-sustaining. So that's a lot of stuff, but the need is so big, and to us it's all about reaching and helping people find their way back to God. It's about going and giving people help, providing education and opportunity, and best of all, the word and love of Christ. To us, this is all the work of God.